All right, we are live. I wanted to welcome everybody today. You know, this is called Mobile University. Does everybody remember that with Zig Ziglar? I'm in my car today. It's where I'm at. It's where the call's going to be, but actually I am going to turn the call over in a minute. I wanted to thank everybody for being on. If you go ahead and share the stream, that would be fantastic. You want to make sure that you share it. Every time I breathe, that's funny, my computer moves. But I wanted to make sure you could hear me. So, Mobile University, the sun is shining, life is good. We're going to do internet today, funnels, create the social media, everything that you need to do to be in part of the world today. And it's great to have all of you on. So go ahead and share the stream. Make sure that you do that. Open your. Just seeing. I got lots coming in. Okay, good. Make sure that you host it on your Twitch feeds. On Facebook, you want to do a watch party, and we really want to drive this to as many people as possible. I think that's really important. So we'll give everybody a minute to get on, and it's really funny because my computer just went to like a screensaver, which I asked it not to do, but so everything just got darker. But as long as it's all good, I can see Austin, he can see me, and life is good. I wanted to thank you all for being on, and it's really excited to have you on today. The speaker we're going to have is brilliant in the space. I'll bring him on for a minute because I'll wait for people just to start jumping on and to really create that, the next part of their life and what they are doing. So just do the host parties. My name is Michael Silvers. I am with Power Team. The great thing about Power Team is we started in 2005. We started with Rainmaker. We were going to sell 200. We sold 3,000 packages, but the difference is because we partnered with Franklin Covey and GoDaddy and also the Learning Addicts. We then moved very simply to create a fund for businesses. And we know the internet really well because then we have Win University, which is created in 2008, which again is our really taking masterminds around the world. 2010 Platinum Speaker Camp, the best speaker camp on the planet. Then we got into the small business expos and started seeing 100,000 businesses a year. And we moved very simply into internet marketing mastery, creating funnels, digital funnels. And that's what we're about today. So you're all amazing to have you on. It is great. We're doing these wherever we need to. I happen to have been somewhere and it's still able to really rock and roll this. It's time for you to listen. It's time for you to learn. It's time for you to get those things that you need to get. Without any further ado, as amazing as you all are, I'm going to turn this amazing call over. Let me take a look at actually, it's this is like doing a couple of different things. Let's see. Okay. Let me text it right now. One thing to our business partners. And there we go. All right, fantastic. So what we're going to do is you're going to have an amazing call. I'm going to be leaving the call in a minute because I'm going to turn you over to our internet mastery, sharpest person on the planet. He's great. He's amazing. I'm seeing what else is coming through. Let's see. All right. All right, everybody hold on one sec. All right, fantastic. Here we go. So without any further ado, he really co-created and co-founded of Power Team. He's brought internet. He's spoken around the world. He's a master at what he does, and it's just an amazing day. Let's give a big round of applause and let's give it up for Mr. Austin Walsh.
Hey guys,
how you doing?
I'm doing really good, really good. Just hanging out in Chicago. My hair is getting so long. I was gonna get an appointment the other day, but went up and hung out with my dad and celebrated Father's Day instead. So that's okay.
I love it. I'm going to pop your screen up and then I'm going to go away. You're amazing. You guys have an amazing time and learning and education, Austin. Just have a great time.
Thank you. See if this works. Yep. Sweet. Okay, cool. So just ignore this for a second, and then we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so welcome to another week of Internet Mastery 101 with me, Austin, and I'm going to do something a little bit different this week, something unique and something that I think I was actually going through a bunch of the stuff earlier, and I thought it might be cool to share some of these things with you guys. Have some super exciting announcements to discuss. One, we just released a brand new process for scheduling appointments with me. So if you text in internet to 26786, you can fill out a quick questionnaire, and then you'll get an email response back to schedule an actual call with me. And we just launched a brand new, I guess it's more like, working with me one-on-one. So I'm looking for about 10 clients to work with one-on-one to really help them scale their online business during quarantine, or not quarantine, but during this new phase of the world that we're in. And secondly, to help people if they want to start a new business. So they're looking to do like new streams of revenue, new streams of income, all that kind of stuff. So you can text internet into 26786. You get access to all of that. We've been doing these calls for, I don't know, the better part of 3 months now, and they've been going super well and fun and fantastic. And me, like, my whole thing has been like, how do we consistently create content that's different, that's new, that's fun, that's interesting, that are talking about different subjects in different types of ways, and how do we deliver it in different types of ways, all those types of things per se. Let me just write this down too. And so I've tried to figure out like how to make these calls engaging for you guys week after week after week after week. And I think we've done a pretty good job of it. But it's interesting now that the world is going back to like more, normal. I thought about like, what if we did something that was a little more engaging, I guess, for both of us, and then we can kind of talk about it as it goes and go through different modes of communication and really go through what the whole platform of a sales process looks like. And I know we've done it. Kind of like on here, but what is a really long or longer presentation? What does that look like? And it has happened pretty, only a few months past. And so, and this is also, I want to talk about, this is really important too. This is, you actually get access to videos just like this when you join Success Club at the VIP levels. This is something that's pretty cool for you guys. So first, before we get going, if you want to set up a consultation with me, you text internet to 26786. You are going, now listen, you can't just text it and then expect to call. You're going to, when you get this, you're going to get a link. When you get that link, you're going to have to fill out a questionnaire. It's like 6 questions, 7 questions. After those questions are completed, you will then get another email to schedule an actual call with me. You may be called by someone else first to kind of prep you for the call with me, because there's layers to this. And after that call, you'll be on the call with me. And it's just to make sure that everything's a good fit and that I can massively help you. I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste my time. Obviously, all of our time is very, very precious. And so we just want to make sure that we're doing this the right way. So you might get a call from Cheryl or Jen or someone from our team after you fill out this questionnaire. And I know a few of you have gone through the revamped version of it today. It's pretty awesome. It doesn't cost you anything to do. I'm not looking to sell you anything. It's more just so that I know that we're both a good fit for each other. And like I said, we're releasing a new program that I'm working with about 10 people to help them really scale their online or build a brand new type of business while this world has been changing rapidly so much, and obviously focus on the internet, which is great because you don't have to go in person and do those types of things. Obviously, I'm someone that's been in the seminar live event space for quite a long time, and I do miss it. I love streaming with you guys, but I miss the interaction of seeing you, in person. I guess that's always been something that's very fun and engaging for me, and something that I've loved to do. And when I was watching this what I'm going to show you earlier, I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool how times have changed, but also sad how times have changed, because it's not like I get to ask questions and get an immediate response. So this is actually a live presentation of me before my hair looked like this. A live presentation of me speaking at an event called Ultimate Wealth Camp, which if you sign up for Success Club, you get tickets to Ultimate Wealth Camp, which is going to be held in December in Vegas. It will be a live event. You'll also get an online version of that event as well. But it's a live presentation, and it really goes through, what does a sales process look like? How do you build the funnel? What's wrong with your website? What's not working with your website? What does your order pages need to look like? What is every single thing that I can really explain to you in very simple details that you get that you need to start to build a successful online business. So I want to give you some recommendations here, right? Like, have some fun with this. Like it's definitely a somewhere I talk and you talk back. And also, I'm going to be chilling out in the live comment section. So if you have comments and you have questions and things like that, I'll answer your comments live. So I'll be here for the entire period of it. I'm going to log into the different streams. I know we have Facebook and Twitch and all those other streams going up. So I'll be on all the different streams going. And also, what was I going to say? There was one more thing I wanted to go over. Oh, and if you like what we're talking about here, and if you like anything we've talked about over the last few weeks, all you have to do is text internet to 26786. Go through the steps. If you don't go through the steps, guess what happens? Absolutely nothing. But I think we're in an exciting phase where things are now reopening back up. I know there's some states that are a little crazy still. But now it's definitely time to make adjustments and make changes and really scale the online side of the business. Sorry, I got a bunch of text messages coming in from some team members. So this call is, I fast forwarded. I went through a bunch of the call before I started doing this, because I wanted to get rid of the parts that weren't really necessary to you. I skipped my entire story, all that stuff. What we're going to hop into right here, right when we start, is really, what does a good website look like and convert like compared to a bad website? And so I just want to make sure that you understand that we're going to go through some negative things first, some not fun things first, and then we're going to go through what does a good process look like. So let me see if this works. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. I have complete and utter freedom and do what I want to. I'm semi-retired, is a joke my dad says. We're almost. I'm here today for a few reasons. I had a blast at the party last night. Some of you, probably like me, maybe had a little too much fun. So 1 second, guys. Just me. If you guys have questions about this whatsoever, any single time, there's a few places that we can discuss this. One, if you go to facebook.com and go to my profile, Austin William Walsh, you shoot me a message, I'll message you right back. You go through the live comment section in here. You write a comment, I'll write a comment right back. If you're on Twitch, if you're on, I believe, YouTube, you write something back. I'm gonna get all these tabs open in the next few minutes. But this is about, I think it's about 50 minutes ish. And any questions whatsoever, I'll take for you. And I want to be really, really clear on this. If you're ready to get rocking with your online marketing stuff, all you got to do is text internet in to 26786, and we'll get started right away working on scaling up your stuff. And it doesn't matter about the budget or what any of that stuff is. We're completely here to help you and help you scale. I just need you to go through those different phases. So I'm going to play this for you guys now. I'm going to leave the video, but I'll still be here hanging out. And we're here today to talk about the internet and how we can all sell better and make a lot more money online. Is that good? Say yes. Yeah. So I'm going to talk none about myself for the rest of the time. We're completely focused on you. Is that okay? Okay, so 6 of you, that's okay. The rest of you alive? I will bring tequila in here right now. Wake you all up. I'm very good at this. Say yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, you're like, oh, tequila, sure, I'm talking now. All right, so to understand this process, to understand how to make more money online, how to sell more online, we have to understand all the things that we're doing wrong initially. Is that okay?
Yes.
Which means this part is going to be depressing. Is that okay? Say yes.
Yes.
So what we're going to do first is we're going to draw your initial website. We're going to create what your website looks like today. Fair? If your website has this on it, you just need to say, yes, I have that, okay? So first question. Does your website have an X button on it? Where people press it, they leave.
Yeah, I'm on
Yes,
Facebook.
every
and
website
everything,
does. Good
guys.
job. You all passed the test. Do you have a home page on there?
Yes.
How about over here? You guys live?
Yes.
That's good. Do you have an About Us?
No.
Do you have a photo of you?
No.
Do you have a logo?
Yes.
Do you have products and services? Do you? How many services and how many products? What's multiple? Go ahead. One. Somebody else. 12. 4. Anybody else? 90. Cool. Do you have a contact us?
Yes.
Do you have social media links?
Yes.
How many of them?
4.
Doesn't matter. Too many. Good. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is really simple. It's called the Cheesecake Factory rules. Anyone know what the Cheesecake Factory rule is? Anyone ever ate a Cheesecake Factory before?
Yes.
How long does it take you to order? Forever. Why does it take so long? Too many items. Yes. So when you go to Cheesecake Factory, you pretty much order the exact same thing every.
Just a quick pause. It's got to tell you, I completely miss the actual engagement of a live event. I know there's a few of us in here right now, and I know probably every single one of us in this room has actually been to live events. And what we're going through right now during this topic that we're discussing is, when you give people tons and tons of different options, what happens? So definitely make sure you're paying attention to, it's a silly joke on all of that, what we're going through, but just understand that lots of options creates tons of confusion. I'll stop interrupting myself, but it's fun to hop back in and out of here.
Every single time. Because what happens is when a human brain gets confused, we go back to what's what?
Familiar.
We go back to what's familiar. It's really important to understand this word. This word is very, very important when it comes to selling stuff on the internet. Familiar. What word? Familiar. Good. So when we get confused, we go back to what's familiar. Very important. So you got this, right? So when someone comes to your website and they see all these different options and things that they can do, they get what? Confused. They get confused, they go back to what's what? So now you have to ask yourself a really important question. What's familiar on the internet? YouTube, cats, sure. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon. More importantly, are you? No. You're not familiar on the internet. Not a single person in this room is familiar on the internet. And so most times when people come to a site like this and they see all these options, they go to what's familiar and they leave. When they leave, how much money have you made? Most sites like this have a 90% bounce rate, which means 90% of the people don't even click something else before they've what? Left. If you're losing 90% of your people before they've done anything, how much money are you going to make? Not a lot. Good answer. Right? And so then it goes into, let's say for some reason, for some fact of the matter, they decide to stay. Okay? Now on this website, there's only one button that actually makes you money. What is it? No, products and services. Okay? Order, sure, products and services. That's the place they have to go to get the person to actually buy something. And now let's say someone has, who had 4? Who had 4 in here? Oh, of course they don't. Oh, there you are. You're like, hi. Okay, so what do you do?
Insurance.
Insurance. Okay, so what are your 4 options?
It's auto, home, business, and life.
Okay, which one should I start with?
Auto.
Why? I care about my home more than my car.
Right. That's why.
And I have a business too, so should I do the business one? But what about the auto one? That sounds interesting.
Everybody.
What was the 4th option? I already forgot it.
Life.
My life's pretty important too. I can live without the car. Which one should I do? Here's the thing, and this is so important you understand this. Do your customers know what they want?
No.
And do they know what they need?
No, so if you give a customer the opportunity to go look at things that they're potentially interested, they're going to get confused. When they get confused, they're going to go to what's familiar. What's familiar is then going to Google and typing in auto insurance. When they type in auto insurance, are they ever coming back to, what's your name? Eve's website?
No.
No, they've left. If you have multiple options, they get confused. Somebody that has one on here is great. Who have one? What do you do?
Advertising.
Advertising, which means what specifically?
I work with businesses that have brand mascots or want to have a brand mascot.
Okay, so if I come to your website, I can just buy advertising.
You can buy our product.
Okay, what's your product?
Our product is a micro display, patented, that stands a.
So I can buy a little display.
Right.
Okay, cool. And then do I have to do any work after that?
Yes.
Or do you do it all?
Either way. You
So I got to talk to you though.
You could choose. You could do it online or you could talk to us.
So there's other options that I have to do afterwards.
A or B.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you're creating work for who?
Hopefully us.
Hopefully you, but more importantly, you're creating work for who? Me, the client. And the second that a human being has to work, we're going to make an excuse to what? I don't care what you say, entrepreneurs are the laziest, hardworking people in the world. But we're still lazy. Okay? And so this is what's called a corporate site. What's it called? And the last part of this entire process is really simple. Who is this website all about? You. This entire website is about you, and you have to understand this. Who does the customer care about? Himself. Do the customers care about us at all?
No.
Oh, they don't care what you're going through. They don't care what you got going on with family. They don't care what's going on with your relationships. They don't care what you got going on with your house. They only care about what's in it for who? Them. Okay? So this is called the corporate side. A corporate side is only good for after they're what? No. After they're familiar. Once they become familiar, now they will what? So we're going to talk about today, and this is so important that you understand this, we're going to talk about how can you build a funnel, not just to sell, but to get people more what? Familiar, because if they're more familiar, they have a much higher chance of them what? Buying from you. Okay, good. So now, second part of this. You guys having fun so far? Say yes? Okay, good. So the second part of this process is really important. What do people buy? Who said that? Good. Results. People buy results, which means if you are selling a product or service or opportunity, you're doing it what? Wrong. Nobody wants to buy your product. Nobody wants to buy your service. Nobody wants to buy your opportunity. Everybody wants to buy the result that's associated with it. For example, I always like having fun with this. What's your name? What is it? Edie Lund, did I say it right? I'm sorry. Can I call you E? Is that cool? Sweet. What's your name? Eric. E. Okay, cool. All right, so everyone say hi, E. Hi. Everyone say hi, Eric. I should have called E squared, but it's cool. So, who wants to work with E? She's absolutely amazing. She's, going to help you make about 10 grand this month, and she'll help you lose 10 pounds, but you can kind of be an asshole. That's option A. Or option B, who wants to work with Eric? He's really fun to work with, and he'll make you feel happy. Who do you want to work with? Eric. I want to work with E. Eric's going to make me happy a little bit, but she's going to make me lose weight and 10 G's a month. That'll make me a lot happier. Because she's selling a what? The result. He's talking about what's going on or how great who is. He is. And so it's really important to understand this. Stop selling your product or service. Stop selling how great you are. Start selling the result. Do you understand? Okay, second, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, good. Some of you get it, some of you don't. Some of you don't even know where you're at. That's okay. We'll pull you back. It's fine. Second thing that's really important. What does every single business need to survive, grow, and prosper? And what do they need to eventually sell? No. No. I'm not going to give you the same answer twice. Come on. Not customers, no. Heard. What'd you say? Someone said it? You gotta have leads. Guys, think about this. Without leads, right, what happens? Nothing. You can have the best product in the world, the best service in the world, the most amazing results in the world. If you got no leads, does anything happen? No. And so I think a lot of businesses fail because they're too focused on creating a great product. They're too focused on creating, great results and not focus on creating great what? Leads. So now we get into this, right? First question is, I think you guys understand how to create results. Say yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Second part of this is that I need to figure out how do I generate a lead. Now, to generate a lead, I have to typically give away something for what?
Free.
For free. So what should we give away for free? What does IP mean, though? What is, okay, but let's be more specific, because I can't just say, hey, do you guys want what I know for free? Opt in now. Something of value, but let's be more specific. Here's what most people give away, right? Ebooks, audios, videos, reports, samples, guides, one-sheets, consults, and I think that's enough, okay? Now, when I give away somebody something for free, what's my goal? No, see, here's the thing. Entrepreneurs need to stop thinking about themselves and start thinking about your customer. My goal when I give somebody something for free is to give that person a what? No. I'm never going to trust you right away. No, not to get their emails, not thinking about yourself. Wrong. My goal is to get that person a result. It's not about capturing their data. It's not about getting their email, because if I got them a result, I did all of those things you're mentioning. But more importantly, they like me even more because I created something for them at the free level. Do you understand?
Yes.
Stop thinking about you. Start thinking about who?
Yes.
Them. Very important, okay? So, to get them a result, I actually have to get them to go through whatever it is I'm giving them for free. So first question, who in here downloads ebooks and reads them all?
No.
Nobody. So, should you give somebody an ebook?
No.
I remember I was in a class, I think this was in New York City, and I said, okay, who in here gives away a free ebook? A bunch of people raised their hand. I said, okay, who in here wrote their own ebook? And like only a few of them raised their hand. And I said, okay, who didn't write their own ebook? She raised, one lady raised her hand. I said, did you read your own ebook that you didn't write? She goes, hell no. I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't give that away for free then if you don't even want to read your own stuff. So nobody wants to do an ebook, right? Do any of you guys want to, after we're done here, like go to the bar and read some reports with me? Doesn't that sound fun? No. I think audios are absolutely amazing if your voice sounds like Les Brown. If it doesn't, don't give away an audio. Let's make a deal in here. Is that okay? Say yes.
Yes.
I will never, ever, ever, ever ask any of you to watch me on video for the next 5 days straight. You ever seen those emails? Hey, come check out my video series. It's only 5 days straight and 14 hours a day or whatever it is. But here's the deal. Don't ever ask me to watch yours. Fair? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. I think samples are great, but the problem with samples is you have to be able to scale them. We have a t-shirt company in Chicago called Grind Matters. We do a lot of the EDM festivals and stuff. And one of the first things we did when we launched the company was we gave away 1,000 free t-shirts, which is like our sample, right? It costs about $4 a shirt. I think it was $4.50, whatever, plus shipping, blah, 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 blah. And out of the 1,000 people we gave free samples to, only 50 people bought again. So samples are very dangerous because it's going to cost you a lot of money to what? Give them away, and you're not sure if they're actually your right target customer. So if they're your right target customer, awesome. But if not, forget about it. We already talked about guides. We talked about reports. Anybody want to read guides at the bar later? No? Okay. How about going through some one-sheets tonight? No? And I think consults are no good because it's not what? It's not scalable. And I don't think you should spend a ton of your time giving away your time for what? For free. Now, if you know someone's an absolutely great fit, it's a qualified lead, it's totally cool to do a consult for. But if your entire business is based around, I'm going to do 50 consults a week, that sounds miserable. If that's what you would love to do, sure, that sounds good. But no, I would never give away my time for what? For free. So what I want to give away for free, that's really simple, that people can go through in a very short period of time and give them a result or not, is tips. Now, when I say tips, I don't mean like create 5 pages of tips. I mean like half a page. And every single tip is focused on creating a what? A result. Tip number 1, run on the treadmill once a week. Tip number 2, drink some more water. Tip number 3, hire a personal trainer. Tip number 4, stop eating McDonald's every day. That person will lose weight if they just do one of those things. Now, if they lose half a pound, that instantly generates a result, and who do they credit that to? You. How much did they pay for it? Now, you have to think about the next question of this. How often do we get free information to actually get something out of it? Almost never. So if you can give somebody something for free and they can actually get something out of it, that generates a result. They have a much higher chance of doing what from you? Buying. Look at all your boys. Oh, buying. Yeah. I like where this is headed. Is this helpful so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now that we know what to give away for free, now we have to create a page that actually converts. Okay? Now, to create a page that converts, we have to think about a few different things. First thing is we're going to take them to a page with only one option. Okay? Not two options, one option. So we're going to create what's called a squeeze page. What's it called? Squeeze page. Now, this page, what most of them look like is this. Up top, they got a video. Over here, we got some copy. And under here, we have an opt-in. This is where we're going to ask for the information. Now, what information should we ask for? Name, email, what else? Cell phone, anything else? Zip code, okay. Did you say age? Yeah. Okay, cool. What's your name?
Nicole.
Nicole, hey Nicole, it's nice to meet you. Pretend we're not here, pretend we're at a bar, cool? Pretend we're not here, pretend we're at a bar.
Okay.
Fair, cool. Hey, what's your name?
Nicole.
Hey Nicole, what's your email, cell phone, your age, and your zip code? Hey, hold on, if you give me those things, I'll give you a free gift. Like some tips. That's weird, right? Yeah, like you would probably run if that happened to you, yes? You would probably punch the person and then run so you get some distance. Okay, so we know that's extremely weird to do in person, so why do we think it's okay to do on the internet? And there are people who say, oh, it's the internet, who cares? No, you're wrong. Your number one goal of when building a business is building a what? No, and a relationship with people. And so you would never build a relationship like that in person because you probably think like I'm some kind of predator or creep, so you shouldn't do the same thing online when you're working with your customers. The only thing that you need to know in person to generate the relationship is their first name, yes or no?
Yes.
The only thing that I need to know online to start the relationship is their what? Their email address. So the only thing that we should ask for is what? Thanks for playing along. I don't ever do that anymore, by the way. Used to. Okay, so the only thing we need to know is their email. Now the second part of this, how do we get the conversion better, is this video is how long usually?
Too long.
Let's just say 45 seconds, do longer than that. Now, who is this video about? No, it's you talking about who? It's you talking about yourself. Okay, so that's going to hurt conversion. But more importantly, how long does an average person spend on a website before they leave? 7 seconds, right? Some people say 17. Some people say some people doesn't matter. Let's just say 7 to 15 seconds. Right now, the question becomes really simple: is 45 seconds more than 7? So why would they stay the whole time? Don't say because you're that entertaining. They won't. See, what happens is people get like a 25% conversion on a page like this and get excited about it. I didn't learn much in at university, at college, but I did learn that you get, actually learn this, you get like a 20 to 25% on something. You literally have to go talk to somebody about that. Like, that's how bad that shit is. Like, didn't you start today like, okay, I'm gonna give my 20% today, woohoo. Like, no, you don't ever want to get a 20% on anything, yes? And so this is a bad number. So what you want your page to look like is a few lines of copy. Underneath it's an opt-in. The opt-in is where you only ask for what? An email address. And this copy is focused on 2 things. What are those 2 things? Results and what? Then. Good. Hey, here's 5 ways you can lose 5 pounds in the next 14 days. If that person needs to lose 5 pounds in 14 days, they're probably going to what? They're probably going to opt in. They're probably going to opt in, but more importantly, they're probably going to use what you're talking about. You got this so far? So this is step 1. This is called the squeeze page. What's it called? Squeeze page. Now, it's very important to understand this. The squeeze page is very similar to what a lot of people call a landing page. A landing page is wherever the traffic what? Lands. So your landing page should be a squeeze page, not your corporate site, because if you're taking people to your corporate site first, you're losing a lot of what? Business and leads. Okay, now, after they've opted in, what's the next thing you want to do?
Send them a thing.
No, you never thank someone when you give somebody something for free. Like, I've never bought someone a drink and thanked them for allowing me to buy it for them. No, that makes no sense. Yes. Offer them something to what? To buy. Knowing that in your head, most people won't buy. Your job is not to sell them here, it's to get them more what? Familiar. Okay, so the second part of this page is called the sales page. On top, you have a headline. Everyone know what a headline is? Say yes.
Yes.
Underneath it, we got a video. To make this video, we use this really expensive, powerful tool that probably some of you in here have, some of you probably don't. It's called Microsoft PowerPoint. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
It's easy to use?
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yes.
So no excuse, yes? Underneath it, we have a buy button. I think the number one rule of selling stuff online is really simple. Do not have a button that says buy on it. Literally, people never, you hate to be told, hey, you should buy that. Like, you hate to be told that. Now, you love to buy things, but you hate to be told to buy things. And so it's really important to understand there's 3 words that almost every single major retailer uses to sell things online. What are those 3 words? Add to cart. Why do they use those 3 words? Because we've been adding things to a cart since we were 10 years old. We're very what? Familiar with it. So I don't care if you're selling a service or a product or a lawnmower, tell them to add it to the cart because it's something that we don't mind pressing. Do any of you shop in here on Amazon? Yes? Do you shop in here like daily, weekly, monthly? What do you do? Weekly, right? If you do weekly, you are pressing that add to cart multiple times a what? A week. And so you have to think, are your customers doing the exact same thing? And if they are, they have no problem pressing a button that says add to cart. Do you understand? Okay, moving on from this. Can I talk about this video, exactly what you're supposed to say and how you're supposed to say it? Okay, the ones that said yes, we'll talk. The rest of you have a good day. Can I tell you?
Yes.
I told you I hate lectures. I love conversations. Conversations work how many ways? 2. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Now, moving on from this, let's talk about the script. The first 30 to 45 seconds is the introduction. What should we talk about in the introduction? No. You know.
Results.
No. I want to relate to people. The first thing that I talk about anytime I introduce myself on stage or in a video or anything like that, I always talk about, when I was a kid, I sold lemonade, I hate lectures, I love conversations, and I'm very transparent right to the point. If you don't like those 3 things, we're not going to get along. The first thing you want to do is relate to people. How you relate to people is completely up to you, but I always like to talk about something that happened in your niche or something that's personal to you and something that can create a quick relation. If you can create a quick relation, they have a much higher chance of what? Staying. Okay? Your job is not to get them to buy in the first 30 seconds, it's to get them to stick around. Okay? Next 45 to 90 seconds. You want to talk about you. That's the worst why ever. You, and then testimonials. Can you all talk about yourself for 30 seconds? Say yes.
Yes.
Now, testimonials, here's the important part of this process. Do not talk about how great you are, talk about the what? The result. You want to list 3 awesome results-based testimonials that get them really saying, okay, this is super cool. You got this, say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Next 2 to 3 minutes. You want to talk about people's fears and then qualifications. Which means that when somebody's about to buy something, right? Think about this. When someone's about to buy something, there's always a reason that they choose not to. We put things in our brain that says, no, we shouldn't do this. Now, what I've figured out is that it's typically 3 reasons that people don't want to buy something. Number 1 is what? Money. No, it's always money. It's not even about trust. Money is always the first excuse that people put in their heads is that, oh, I don't need this because it's this much. Number 2 is time. Okay, number 2 is time. And number 3 is, traditionally, is will this actually work? Which goes along the trust line, okay? Now, what a lot of people do is they do this. Yeah, you need $500 and you need a few hours a week, and if you're this, or this person, it's a great fit. Now, what happens is when you say that specifically, you get what's called a headache sometimes. Anyone know what a headache is? What's a headache? I'm not talking the Advil kind. Huh? something you don't want to deal with, but we're talking about people here. So someone you don't want to deal with, right? Like, do any of you in here have a meeting this week or a phone call this week that you're like, oh shit, this guy again. And you only do that because they do what? You only take those calls because they what? Because they pay you. Now, I think if you have less people that you don't like to work with and you work with more people that you love to work with, you'll have a lot more fun, and more importantly, you'll make even more what? So how do you do that? You don't just say, yeah, you need this, you need this, you need this. You say things along the lines of, hey, you need 3 to 4 hours a week. If you don't have that time, please leave the page now. I speak at expos all over the country, and every once in a while there's just like a room that's like, man, you people are miserable. What's wrong? Do you guys need a hug? But I say something different. I say, listen, if you're not really serious about your business, please get up and leave. I'm the only speaker, maybe my dad too, but I'm the only speaker that gets excited when people leave my room. Because I'm like, yes. Don't have to work with that person, because, and I have a really simple rule, like if you can't take your client or customers to the movies with you, you probably, like think about it, right? Like the movie theater, what do? You walk up, you talk for 5 to 10 minutes, you buy a popcorn, you buy another popcorn, you don't share popcorn because I need my own popcorn, it's important. And some of you get this, some of you don't, it's okay. And then you sit there in silence for 2 hours, and when you leave, you just talk for a few more minutes. If you can't take a person to the movie theater with you, they shouldn't be your customer. Okay, you only want to work with people that you love to what? Work with. So what I want you to do is I want you to take the fear, issue a challenge, and then it becomes a qualification. Take the fear, you issue a challenge. Hey, it's $4,000 to get started. If you don't have $4,000, that's okay. There's something that's better for who? Something better over here for you. You want to make sure that your clients are challenged before they buy anything because it qualifies them so much better and it gets them so much more familiar and amped up to work with who? With you. Okay? Moving on from this, going to the next part. Next 2 to 5 minutes is you want to talk about the product, the service, or the opportunity. If you're doing network marketing, talk about the opportunity. But more importantly, what you're talking about here is mostly just the what? The results. And what I think you should do, I think you should really map it out, Week 1, you get this. Week 2, you get this. By week 3, here's the results you can expect. By week 6, you can expect this. By week 12, you can expect this, right? And you kind of walk them through, here's what's going to happen as you progress through working together. And really give a very clear map of here's what it is. This part should take more time than anything else, right? And then what's the last thing you do? Close. The last thing you do is close. Now, my advice for closing is really, really simple. And some people like this and some speakers don't like this. And my advice for closing is really simple. One, I think you should be 100% genuine yourself. People are either going to buy for you or they're not. And either way, that's great. I don't think you should change it. And we all know that everyone's done this. I don't think you should ever change yourself to make a deal. You might change your language a little bit, or, you change your outfit that day just to get that deal. No, I wear Yeezys on stage because they're super comfortable. I'd probably make more money wearing dress shoes. Maybe not, I don't know. But, you have to be who? It's got to be you. It's so, so, so important. I know my dad's been so much happier the last year because he stopped wearing dress shoes and started wearing Jordans. I'm done with these dress shoes. Forget it. Because you feel better when you're who? Yeah. When you're yourself. Number 2, I'm not a big fan of when things are $50,000, but today and today only, they're $14. I don't know. The value thing is not determined by who? By us. The value is determined by the who? The customer. Everyone's heard of the book Think and Grow Rich, right? Anyone here read that book and it changed their life? Okay, let's see if you guys are honest. Anyone in here use that book at home for a beer coaster? Okay, you have to understand, it's difference in what? In value. Some people, I don't think that's true, but I think values are determined by the customer. So we can never, I don't like when things we say, oh yeah, it's this much, this is the value, because we don't determine the value, the customer determines the value. Okay? Those are my 2 advices from closing. I don't have any you should do this, this, and this to get people to buy. I think people buy because they like you and they trust you and they understand that you're going to generate them a result. And if you can do that very effectively, you'll sell a lot more. Does this make sense? Say yes.
Yes.
You got this? Okay, now, afterwards, the last part of this process, when you go through the last part of this process, say yes?
Yes.
The last part of this process, now they've clicked that add to cart button. Now they have to do what? They have to actually buy. They got to put their credit card in, right? You did all the most of the work. Now you got to get to the hard part of the work. And look, we had a challenge that we only had 2 out of every 10 people that clicked add to cart actually bought. And 20% is a bad what? Number. So we wanted to create a way that more people will buy, and we raised our percentage up a lot. Can I show you exactly what it looks like? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Up top, there's an X button right here. It's on what side of the page always? It's always on the right side of the page. So, to the left-hand side, we put a big logo. Over here, on the right side of the page, you put a 30-day money-back guarantee. Down the right side of the page, you put testimonials. Every single testimonial is based upon a what? On a result. Underneath this logo, this is where the credit card box is at. So that's where they put in all their what? Their credit card information at. Underneath the credit card box is what's called the upsell box. Underneath this is where they actually check out. This is the box. This is the button they press to check out. Now, what happens when someone's buying something online? Any ladies shopping here a lot online? You guys are really good at this. Okay. So you guys know this. Like, you guys ever like go to like a store and you're like, oh, this jacket looks cute, add to cart. Oh, those shoes look cute, add to cart. And then like 14 more things added to the cart like 20 minutes later. And then you go to check out, and then you start to type your name, and then you're like, holy shit, what am I doing? And then instantly leave. Yes?
Yes.
Does this happen like, is this a daily, weekly, monthly? Okay, good. You don't have to tell me. That's fine. Fairly often. She's like, you know, like during your talk, I might have did that, but no. Okay. So what happens is when we're about to buy something online, once we actually get to this page, when it becomes real. When it becomes real, we get attacked with fear. The fear tells us, we should get out of here. So we always about to, once we type our first and last name in, that's when the fear kicks in. When you type your first and last name in, the first thing that you want to do is leave. So when you leave, you go up and where? To the right. First thing that you run into on this page is a testimonial based upon a result. The second thing you run into is a money-back guarantee. So it gets people to come back. Now, why do we put a huge logo up here? Because no one cares about it. And so it drags people what? Down further on the page, and because we want this credit card as far away from the X as humanly possible. Do you understand? So what happened was we went from 2 out of 10 by adding these just few disruptions in here, we went from 2 out of 10 to 6 out of 10. Just by making a few changes. Then what I realized, this is so important, that when human beings are buying something, we always want to do what? Buy more. For instance, any of you guys go out to lunch or dinner last week? Yes? Did you get an appetizer, anybody? Why? Because I was hungry, which means you couldn't wait 5 extra minutes, right? Oh, she's like, I don't know, I need that appetizer now, right? But we buy it because it's what? Because it's there, even though we know we don't need it, right? We love to buy more, like, any of you guys gone to the mall and just bought one thing recently? No, like we can't even shop online and just buy one thing. There's always something else that's right there to buy too. And so you want to have an upsell that's exactly similar to this. If this is a $300 product on, you know, how to be a better person, this is a $300 upsell on how to be an even better person. You understand? It's got to be complementary. It's got to be something that's very similar. And then I always keep it the same price because I know if they can afford one $300, they can afford what? 2. You got this?
Yeah.
So this kind of wraps it up through this whole process. And then after this, we find that about half of the people that buy this immediately buy the upsell. How many? Half. If you raise the price more, guess what happens? Less people buy. If you lower the price, guess what happens? More people buy. Lower the price, more people buy. Higher the price, less people buy. Pretty understandable. Say yes?
Yes.
Has this been helpful so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. Can we review every single thing that we talked about? Say yes?
Yes.
Cool. So, first thing we talked about, if you guys see this over there, can you turn this at all? Oh, you can see it, cool. First thing we talked about was the corporate site. Corporate site is what almost every single one of you in here have set up. You've all hired a website designer or developer to build you this site. And your initial goal when you created the site was to make you what? But the prop, say money like you actually want to make it. Money! You guys were almost depressing to me there for a second. Money. Jeez, corporate site sucks. Anyway, our goal when we created these sites was to get them to make money, but the challenge is that you hired a website designer or a designer, their job is not to sell things, it's to make things look what? And if you didn't hire a website designer, you probably did it who? Yourself. And your job is to not sell things online. Your job is to be great at what you're what? Great at. Like I always ask people when they make their own website, I'm like, hey, do you make your own bread at home too? I'm sure one of you in here do. Don't come at me. There's always one person in these rooms like, yeah, I make my own bread. I'm like, okay, well, you're cooler than me, bro. I don't know what to tell you. That's awesome. How do you do that? But it's important to understand, like, you have to focus on what you're great at, not on what other people are great at. Do you get this? So now we know that's the corporate side. Our job when people come to the corporate side is that they're already what? Already familiar. So let's go back to where you started at. Which is next. There's a squeeze page. On the squeeze page, our entire goal is to capture data and get the person a what? A result. Good. After the squeeze page, we take them where? To the sales page. Good. And after the sales page, our entire job is not always to sell it, to get the person more what? Familiar. Like you have to understand, if you have a sales page or if you have a squeeze page that's getting 100 opt-ins a week and you're only getting one person buying the sales page, that's not a bad thing because you're getting 99 people more what? Familiar. You'll go to high school, the sales page, you take them to the closing page. The closing page is all about creating disruptions. When you create disruptions, less people will